including Pigeon Point, will be closed on Thursday to facilitate the investigation. He urged the jet ski operator to come forward and surrender to the police. In other news, the Regulated Industries Commission and the Trinidad and Tobago Fair Trade Commission will now be overseen by a single chairperson. On Wednesday, the boards of both commissions received their instruments of appointment from President Christine Kangaloo. After operating without a board for about 10 months, several commissioners and chairpersons were sworn in to head the Trinidad and Tobago Fair Trade Commission on Wednesday. At the official swearing ceremony, at the President's House, Attorney at Law Nisha Prasad was appointed head of the TTFTC as well as the Regulated Industries Commission. Ms. Prasad outlined her next steps to the members of the media after the ceremony.
His plan of action is to have a board meeting, because this is the first time I'm meeting the members of the board. So we're hoping to schedule that meeting for sometime next week. And we're hoping as well to meet with the relevant ministers and line ministers so that we can properly follow the mandate that each commission has.
The absence of a board froze the FTC's ability to investigate complaints of anti-competitive behavior, conduct major reviews, or make referrals to regional competitive bodies. Ms. Bassard highlighted some of the issues the board will prioritize in the coming weeks.
Need to address. One, of course, is that the merger, the Agostini Prestige Holdings, the other issues with the pharmaceutical boards. But of course, again, I'm not in a position to fully comment because we haven't met yet. So after we have our meetings, then I'll be in a better position to comment on outstanding issues.
Unusual for one person to lead both commissions. Ms. Bassard said she believed the move was not unprecedented. However, official records from the Trinidad and Tobago Fair Trade Commission and the Office of the President indicate that no single individual has previously chaired both bodies. Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander commended fire officers for their unwavering dedication. He emphasized that the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service must remain in a constant state of readiness, noting that the new tenders will significantly enhance response times to distress calls. He noted that fire services' ability to respond to emergencies promptly assures the safety of the country. He credited Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar for her advocacy in securing the vehicles, reassuring officers of the government's continued support.
And this is just the beginning. We will continue to invest, we will continue to strengthen, and we will continue to build a fire service that this country can rely on. Because protecting the people of Trinidad and Tobago is not an option. And to me, it is a responsibility given to me by the Honorable Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago.
In some sport news now, the Trinidad and Tobago national Carifta swim team is set to return this morning from the Carifta Aquatic Championships in Martinique. This comes after TNT finished third on the medal standings in the championships with 59 medals, comprising 20 gold, 19 silver, and 20 bronze. TNT's campaign included a gold medal performance by Ethan McMillan Cole in the boys' 13 to 14 100-meter breaststroke, where he set a new Carifta record. The team is set to touch down at the Piarco International Airport at 7:55 a.m. And that's what's making the news this morning. But joining us right now is Vimala Balkaran, the host of Trinidad and Tobago Today. Good morning, Vimala, my good friend.
Good morning, Carrie. Happy Thursday. For some reason, it feels like it should be Friday by now.
I know, right? The week seems to be dragging on.
I don't understand, and it's actually a really short week.
It's supposed to be a short week, but you know how January feels?
Oh my goodness, it feels like 10 months of January. Well, Carrie, last evening we received some really disturbing news.
That was TTT News on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Talk City 91.1 FM. Talk.
Cabinet has approved the establishment of the regulatory framework for the registration and management of classic, antique and vintage vehicles in Trinidad and Tobago.
Music. Culture.
We are now in a state where I can now proudly announce that our gas production will increase by a significant amount given all the various projects that are now expected to come online.
Engaging conversations, latest news, our music. This is Talk City 91.1 FM.
Your future is safe with us. No matter your age or where you're from, our doors are open to each and every one. A variety of services that's accessible and reliable. Here to show you just what service is. Helping where we can, but with a smile.
Police Credit Union, your future is safe with us.
TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Every morning begins with a story. The headlines you need. The voices you trust. The conversations shaping our nation. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today, where your day starts informed and inspired. News that matters to you. Conversations that spark new ideas. Stories that move Trinidad and Tobago forward. Tune in weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. or join the conversation on any smart device at TNT Today Show. Trinidad and Tobago Today. Start here, exclusively on TTT.
History in the rhythm. Issues in the spotlight. Talk City 91.1.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked!
The Ground Report, the Ground Report.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago is not closing down Petrotrin.
The Ground Report, the Ground Report.
I would think that there's been very clear that all the employees of Petrotrin will exit the company. All.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith. Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
darkness you shine. Out of the ashes we rise. There's no one like you. None like you. our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what can stand against? And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what can stand against? Stand against. Our God is greater, our God is stronger, God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer, awesome in power, our God.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Time check. It's 13 minutes past the hour. Yes, 13 minutes past the hour.
God, you are high.
6 o'clock and you're listening to the Ground Report. Yours truly, the pitbull of radio.
Awesome in power, our God. Our God. And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop?
Hey, bye. You know, Lennox, Snipes, a pleasant good morning to you.
Pleasant good morning, Andy. Pleasant good morning, Trinidad, Tobago, and the wider world. Morning to Lennox.
Yeah, Lennox, you know, boy, you know what kind of jump me, you know, boy? By, you know, starting the program normal, boy, so just going through the internet, the WhatsApp here. But, you know, I see in here, boy, funeral service for Mr. Ramnarain on April 11th. Mr. Ramnarain called me, I forget. On the 7th, boy.
Yeah.
Look at Mark here, boy.
Yes.
Look at Mark here. He died April 7th. He called, look, I watch him back.
Yeah, check. You better confirm because, you know, these days how wild and...
Oh, it's from he phone, boy.
Oh, okay. But then it's serious. All right, okay. It's
Right,
legit.
and look, he Tuesday morning, which is the 7th,
Mm-hmm.
he calls 8:17. 8:80. Remember, I always ask him how he feeling. You all right?
Yes.
Yeah, boy. And look, I see here. He talked to me at 8:20 for 2 minutes.
Yes,
And look, I see him this morning here. 5:24. I see in here, in loving memory of Harold Ramnarain, December the 2nd, 1946. And past April the 7th. Now, the same day he talked to me. He said he was feeling good. He passed April the 20th. The thing there, they were saying, yeah, he go be buried. Yeah, they say, yeah. It is with heavy heart that we share the passing of Mr. Ramnarain. He is a loving father, grandfather, you know, a great grandfather, and a brother, yeah.
I wonder, but we never had contact except him. Yeah,
but his phone do it. He done pass, so that means somebody will have his phone. Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me see.
They probably sent to everybody. That might have been on his phone.
Hello, a pleasant good morning, sir.
Yep.
I see something about Mr. Ramnarain. There's Andy Williams from the Ground Report and Lennox Smith here on. Mr. Ramnarain passed away?
Yeah, he passed away on Tuesday. I think my mom was going to message you or email you and let you know.
Yeah, well, we did get.
But he
we
talked
did
to
get
me
it.
Tuesday,
We didn't get it.
He
That's
talked
why
to
we're
me Tuesday
responding
morning.
now. Yeah.
He talked to me Tuesday morning at 8:20, and I asked him if he all right. He said yes, and he make a contribution.
Yeah, he seemed okay when that day. It's just in the afternoon, I think. It's when it happened. It was due to a massive heart attack. So.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, right. Wow.
All right. Well, our condolences to the bereaved family, obviously, and
thank you.
Well, we are stunned here, collectively and individually, because whites, of course, that is part of life. You simply can't get accustomed to it, especially when it is sudden as this one. In our case, in our experience, all right.
The funeral is this. Yeah, the funeral is this Saturday.
But will you all have
in
a
Toronto.
link?
Here.
Do you have any link for it? Or?
Yeah, I can send you the link. It's fine.
Okay, and it's Saturday.
It is Saturday, but it's 7 o'clock in the morning. So it's an early funeral. Unfortunately, all the places around here seem to have a lot of these situations going on, so they're all been pretty busy. So it was kind of the only time slot we could get that was reasonable and available in this short period.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, he'll be sorely missed. And we are really. I don't think you would be exaggerating. Basically, we are traumatized because of the fact that we recently just was inquiring as to his health and he said that everything was all right. And then the evening time.
Yeah, at the time, nobody saw this coming, right? It was pretty sudden, like you said.
Yeah, and in fact, I had intimated to my colleague that it may be somebody being mischievous if we could communicate and confirm. So so it's news that we would not have preferred to have, but
this number be always around where we could like keep in communication with the family. You have his son, Arish, and then so if you could let Arish know that I would like to keep in communication with them, right?
I mean, this number will be active for a while until we decide what to do with some of his things, right? So.
Okay.
All right.
And what if we may what attachment to the family are you?
I'm his oldest son.
Oh, his oldest son. All right. So his son.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you. Well, once again, of course, I accept our condolences from quite here in Trinidad, but we have a very fond relationship and therefore fond memory of this great man that has passed away only recently, as far as we are concerned.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
And convey same to the other members of the family on our behalf.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay then. Yeah, well, as the saying goes, one day you're here, next day you're elsewhere.
Well, we seen here in the papers, Lennox Smith, a businessman, killed during a domestic dispute. They say that is in San Fernando. The wife, like she allegedly
Yeah, and of course, it appears that it's a friend of the present Minister of Homeland Security, Roger Alexander, who commented on the matter. He indicated, of course, that he had some engagement with him, I think, over the weekend at one of the shooting ranges that they would normally frequent and together engage. So it's a loss to him as well. So it's losses all round, but it's something that we have to comment on. We have to engage because it's part, as I say, of living. Unfortunately, dying. And that is the practical reality that we have as human beings, must endure and acknowledge. And today, well, we are doing that, even though it will bring, of course, grief and sympathy and all of the other emotional roller coaster or coaster that we normally would be engaged in as human beings as we go through this life. All right, so that is where we are. And yes, that situation with that businessman is very, very tragic as well.
Yeah, we also
Go ahead.
We also seen Tobago, little Angelica
oh, yes.
died in Tobago there with the jet ski collision.
Yes, boy. And they have yet to find the person who would have been engaged in that particular jet ski. Apparently, he abandoned the ski and he went. So there's the term is a manhunt for the individual. But of course, the chief secretary, in his commentary on the matter, has asked him to give up himself, if only to find out what is the circumstance. It may well be as a result of an accidental scenario, but of course, the whole question of other legal connotations such as negligence, etc., because understand that the area where the family would have been engaged in terms of taking a bath in that part of the sea, put it that way, or the beach, was cordoned off, and skiing was not permitted. So there may be some breach in the rules and regulations, but nonetheless, I think the person should own up and let the chips fall where they may.
Oh boy, well, we see that it have a 2 weeks ceasefire and things banding around. Well, Israel didn't stop the ceasefire on Hezbollah in Lebanon. Israel is saying it's separate to the ceasefire with Iran, right? And well, the whole issue of that ceasefire banding around there, if it will hold up, if it wouldn't hold up, but we know Donald Trump, son-in-law, and Vince, which is the vice president, and the next one, they heading to have negotiations with some 10-point plan that they're saying, well, it sounds ridiculous, look ridiculous. So it just kind of, while we organize and watch jet back.
As I said last night on the corridor, it appears that the strategic positioning and the implementation of that peace arrangement, or ceasefire, I should say, arrangement, because really not peace as such, but ceasefire, it in itself is revealing several things. Like, for example, Iran would be given the responsibility, as our good friend from the States would have indicated. Not that I wasn't aware, but I know I have some more information. Would be, guiding their navy will be guiding, of course, ships through the strait. But more significantly, we are saying that they have to do it because the area is mined, and therefore it's only they know where the mines are, and therefore should be the rightful entity to guide the ships and sea vessels that may be plying that particular route. But what it reveals at the same time is what the intention was, so that if things had escalated and continued, it means therefore these ships would have been subjected, of course, to the mining, which of course is a disaster that was waiting to occur. But I think the ceasefire would also expose that reality as well, because they are saying that, listen, we are the rightful ones to guide, and of course, for every ship that passes through, every tanker that passes through, they have to pay a tax of $1 per barrel that they would be carrying. Yeah. And of course, some people are saying, well, no. Some others are saying yes. Some people that's the price you have to pay in order to get at least business. So half a loaf is better than none at all, I suppose, in this particular case. But we'll see how that pans out. What I suspect is that other things would have been revealed, because if it is claimed that the Navy was wiped out, how come they have a Navy that would be able to manage hundreds of ships or vessels that would be plying that particular route? So on the one hand, and then of course we have seen that they were able to respond when strikes are made on them, on not only their neighbors but on Israel, when of course it was thought that some 90-something% of their capability to fire back would have been reduced. But to me, every time they say that they're going to fire back, they're doing that, and one would have thought by now they would have lost their capacity, because it's thousands of bombings that took place and literally disconnecting a lot of their ability to fire, their power to project harm and danger to their neighbors. And it seems that on every occasion we seem to have been wrong. So they were really piling up and storing a lot of arms in that country. That look as though, to me, they were living for that. They're existing for that. I just can't understand it.
But I think it has something behind that when it comes to the Americans. I believe it really has something still behind that, because
I do. I think it's an opportunity to expose some more of where their arsenal are hidden, so that when the time comes, they can make the strike. Donald Trump is too wily and too unpredictable to not put that into the scenario as well.
Now, why watch out is that all right, well, the Navy is supposed to be abbreviated, as that is what Donald Trump said. Well, as you and all mentioned, well, you're shocked to see they'll have a Navy still to be able to do that, well, right? But remember, the whole issue, they're not going to be mapping from in space. They'll be mapping. And obviously...
definitely. I have no doubt in my mind that is an opportunity, because they would have exposed some of the secrets that they would have preferred if such a situation didn't occur. But at the same time, too, one has to rationalize as to why they would agree to such an arrangement at this point in time. I suppose that they find themselves in a sort of a Hobson's choice, no choice position, and therefore they figure that they had to do that to salvage something.
Now, but I feel it's the same thing. The mapping in the context of the line mines and all those various things, they'll just map exactly where the Iranian Navy are passing that have no mines. They just have to map that, and obviously they'll be mapping to see.
And everywhere else, of course, will be mined. You have to assume will be mined, and you just demine that.
And them know exactly where to have mines, where to pass and where not to pass, and they'll have a very serious idea of exactly where the mining is. And if it is they still have a Navy, it will mean that them Pacific fleets was in hiding. And to bring it out, so now they will see, well, hey, look at that, about 400 or 500 ships more, whether it be submarine or however it go, they'll get to actually see what it still have.
And an opportunity
so I believe it's mapping
where they are hidden.
Because I doubt, because between me and you, if it is that Iran remains the boss of the Strait of Hormuz, it means technically America lost the war. Because the whole, so you telling me the Strait of Hormuz is where bring down the almighty America, all our guns, all them bombs, all that technology.
Head of the class.
All that technology, and you tell me America come on and had to settle after they say they obliterated nearly everything. Them had to boil down. All right, so it means Iran have nothing, but yet still holding all our power to stop our country as America, powerful so, and still take charge of the Strait of Hormuz, and still take a dollar on every barrel. Boy, that you heard what's me? I like them, boy. If that is what going on, the great America going to take that by? But that war lost. If it's that, America lost the war.
You see, and Trump clearly, because of the midterm elections as well, there was an increasing chorus of dissent against the war, or against that, how the war would have been started. Even though anybody who is a true American will say, well, listen, it's a good thing, because this thing would have, if you waited 20 years from now, I mean, Iran probably would have had the capacity to hold to ransom the entire globe.
Boy, because if right now
So
America bent to the knees, that madness. Anytime they do that, that will embolden Iran. That no different. Remember, I always saying, if you don't detect the criminals in Trinidad and Tobago, the ones who are killing people, and nobody getting hold, it's just getting them brothers braver and braver and braver and braver. You understand? If it is that remain how it is there, them embolden Iran. Them embolden Iran. So now when Iran start to build back, them know exactly where they put most of the thing, where they concentrate on. They know.
Yeah, well, that will now be exposed, because
It was my last
on the other disadvantaged side for Iran, they would have exposed all of what they would have preferred to hide, and did in fact hide, and was able, of course, to launch attacks or counter attacks, as they say, defending themselves. When in fact the entire issue was about the enrichment for the production of some 11 nuclear bombs, and of course the hiding of the missile agenda and manufacturing, including of course a massive drone industry. We saw that where they were able to even help the Russians with their war with the Ukraine. So I'm sure that the Americans are looking carefully as to where these.
But you really think America going to be on bended knees off of that straight, boy?
Yeah,
because the lost the war, that is it,
I think the military people are looking very meticulous.
Because America be looking real stupid, they're looking stupid right now, No, go ahead,
all right, we have to go to the break, and when we come back, more on this edition of the Ground Report.
Before we do that, I gotta let you guys know, Trinidad and Tobago, the Electricity Commission advises that there will be an interruption in service on Sunday, 12th April 2026 in Galeota and Guayari. As follows: the following areas will be affected. Isthmus Road from pole number 25 inside NEC Galeota Port Road of Isthmus Road to pole number 46 of Isthmus Road. Note, only the following customers will be affected: NEC Galeota Port BP Terminal, BP Administration, EOG Resource, Coast Guard, Trinity Fields, Baker's Hugh, off pole number 60/3 and pole number B52/1. The Hydrotech compound from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. from Galeota substation at pole number A349 Galeota Road, Galeota, up to pole number A433 Galeota Road, Rosilac Village, Guayari, including Campus Village, Rosilac Village, Faria Circular, and all associated side streets. From 10 a.m. to 12 noon, pole number A433, Guayari Road, Rosilac Village, Guayari, up to pole number 417, Guayari Road. Beachfield entrance to Main Field Road, Beachfield including Rosilac Village, Russville, and all associated side streets. From 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. from pole number A433, Guayari, Rosilac Village, Guayari, up to pole number 417. Ridge Schooner Road, Beachfield, Edward Trace, Trinity Field, Lizard Spring Road, and all associated side streets. From 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., the interruption in service in Galeota and Guayari will be on Sunday, 12th April 2026. The Commission apologizes for any inconvenience caused by this interruption, but this is to facilitate transport to two heavy equipment from Shell Trinidad and Tobago Limited from NEC Galeota Port to Shell Beachfield facility in Guayari.
Is your business experiencing the following symptoms? Not enough customers, low sales, slow cash flow. It's time for your business to be seen and heard by thousands of potential customers inside this new, exciting television and social media feature.
Welcome.
The 1020 with Junior K. Up for this exciting challenge and confident about your business? If you are, the 1020 feature is just for you. It's where you give your customers 10 reasons in 20 seconds why they should shop by you. This fun-filled feature will be captured, packaged, and aired on television and promoted on social media simultaneously. Small, medium, and large businesses call or WhatsApp 764-3378 or 313-4215. Let's feature your business. 1020 with Junior K. It's affordable, effective, and fun.
The plays that shake the arenas. The stories that move a nation.
I'm waiting for a super over. I've got to go quick. I've got to go quick.
From football to cricket, track to tennis, every win, every rivalry, every headline. This is where Trinidad and Tobago come for sports.
TTT Sports. Committed, accurate, relevant.
Your future is safe with us. No matter your age or where you're from, or what doors are open to each and every one. A variety of services that's accessible and reliable. Here to show you just what service is. Helping where we can, but with a smile.
Police Credit Union. Your future is safe with us.
From the road to the radio. Talk City 91.1. 91.1.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked!
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
We are back. Time check. It's about 20 minutes past the hour to the hour. 20 minutes to the hour of 7 o'clock. And you're listening to the Ground Report. You're shooting the pitbull of radio, Lennox Smith, and Director Snipes in studio. Wow. Anyhow, let me just play some voice notes before we go into the...
Good day, Andy. Let me congratulate Prime Minister Kamala on acquiring 6 top-class Scania fire trucks, which are the best in the world for quality, performance, and endurance. But what you're going to see and hear now is the waste of time PNM party and their sycophant supporters saying it was the PNM that did the acquiring of these fire trucks. That's all nonsense talk. So it means the incompetent PNM party took over 9 years to get 6 fire trucks in the country. And as citizens and supporters, you're happy with that kind of incompetence that passed for governance for the last 9 years, but it's all going to change now. Because Prime Minister Kamala will fix it all. So PNM sycophants like Busman and others can keep on bumping their mouths all over social media. Anyway, Andy, have yourself a great day, my friend, and let's all try and be safe out there today, people.
Andy, good morning. Big Ram here, my brother. Locked on and listening. Blessings to you and the crew. Andy, I just seen the sad news of Mr. Ramdarai from Canada, of his passing. I look forward to listening to his contribution every morning. And the last contribution, like you said, was on Tuesday. Could you please send me the link when you get a link from the family? Thank you very much, Andy, and stay strong, stay blessed, my brother. Life is so short. Thank you, Andy. Have a blessed one.
Andy, good morning. Lennox, morning. Again, propaganda news when people say they wipe out everything. Like the guy who has called here, foreign news, he from America has called and give you propaganda news. He's a propagandist. So everything is wiped out. We don't know. We don't get the truth. That's the problem. And the problem is they want to charge. That was free before. You didn't have to pay for that. That was free traveling. And the problem they want to charge now is because they want to get back their money, all the money that Israel blew up the country and all that thing. They want back their money, so that's how they'll get back their money. Think about it, there's $2 million for a ship going through, you know. That's what they're claiming. So you see the propaganda news that the guy who is calling radio station in America and give you guys propaganda news. We still ain't get nothing. We ain't get nothing. America spent all this money for no reason, for nothing. It was what? They kiss Israel bomb. And we get nothing. We didn't get the uranium, we didn't get the Hamas open, we get nothing. We come like this sore loser, crying. And then people just call it radio station and say, that is the truth. When they want a ceasefire, they mean a ceasefire for all of the people. Not just for Lebanon, everybody ceasefire, but Israel don't want to do that. They still want to bomb up people. So you see, we have to be careful. Our president, you have to be a little more wiser and smarter. He's not that smart and wise, but what we gonna do? We gotta live with it, man. Later, Andy. Andy, let me say something before. I don't need to call back. Andy, you gotta remember, Iran is 2,000 years old. There's a civilization in Iran. Just like in India, civilization. China, civilization. You got to remember, America is only built 250 years ago. And you talk with countries who have lived a civilization over 2,000 or more years. So they're wiser, they're smarter. They might not have a lot of money, but when it comes to wise and smartness, they have it. They know how to protect a 2,000 years of civilization. You think you will wipe out? And they will not fight and come up with ideas? You got to understand, we Americans are very smart. But we only have 250 years of rebuild America. It's over 2,000 years of India, Pakistan, the Persian Gulf, China, those countries existed. Africa existed for over 2,000 years, brother. A lot of people don't understand. Look at India, they were poor, and now they're going to be third, pretty soon they'll be second biggest, greatest, largest economy in the world. Maybe for in America, the rate we're going with other things, we might be second or third, and they might be first. Come on, we gotta. Andy.
Yeah, caller.
Good morning. Good morning, Andy. Andy, I want to ask you a simple question before I hang up. Andy, if you have a cricket team, right, and Lennox, and you do not select the best players, what happens? We come at the West Indies, right? We come second all the time. We lose. Same thing as Rowley. When Rowley had his party PNM and he picked us at a kiss, you know what? You don't get the job done, we get bankrupt. It's the same thing up here. When you want us to tell yes man, who you do not want to hear the truth, how are you going to run your cabinet and be successful? That's the man up here. He don't want nobody go against him and say, you know what? How could you wipe out a civilization? A civilization is 2,000 plus years old. We in America is only 250 years old country. A civilization like India, China, Pakistan, those civilization countries, they existed for thousands of years. How could you do that? when the Admiral keep telling him he don't want to fire all of them, he don't want to hear that, he want to listen to Netanyahu. And that's what Netanyahu told him, if you kill the Idi Amin or whatever the Ayatollah, you're going to get a regime change in the morning. And that is not going to happen, Andy. And you got to understand, they got to read history. All the people that score about the Messiah and what kind of, they don't understand history. Civilization, you cannot kill civilization like that. They are smarter than we because they are existing for over 2,000 years. Everything. Waiting happen. How you think the pyramid is built? This is a civilization country. We're only 250 years old, America. And our best and brightest come from those countries. Our best, brightest people who build things in America come from those countries. Civilization country, India, China, the Persian Gulf. So how could you win? How could you how KNM could do anything when you have a man who wants to everything to tell you yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, we like you sir, kiss you sir. How could you win anything? Just like a cricket team, you can't win. All right, Andy, my friend, later.
All right, thank you. Lennox Smith, well, you heard his contribution. That it's very hard to wipe out a civilization with years about 2,000 and something years old compared to the United States, which is just 200 and something years old.
Well, you know, there is credence for that pattern of thought, but I think it's deeper than that.
I think
it's deeper than that. I think it is about a regime that felt that it has to dominate in a particular way and has to protect itself in a particular way. And for the last 40 something years, they have utilized and focused all of their resources, whilst of course crippling, or should I say emasculating and oppressing their own population, to have of course an arsenal and utilizing the entire country, preparing it for an occasion such as this. I want to say that they have not been totally successful. They have been exposed very, very early. So one of the advantages that the American intervention has brought out is that what their true intention would have been, and it's a good thing they will attack now, because give them 10 more years, they would have had a nuclear weapon. Yeah, and of course all of those things, the geography itself they have used to go deep underground. So even those cluster and of course those bombs that are supposed to breach and reach way underground obviously have not worked. So they generated technology in order to treat that, whilst at the same time developing technology that they could wage asymmetrical war, meaning that bring drones, etc., cheaper and everything else, and of course frustrate the might of the United States with their multi-million defense and attacking military arsenal.
No, but why watch out, Lennox?
That's reality, yeah.
Why watch out at the end of the day with this whole thing there is that Iran at the end of the day have the way they govern and the way now they have to be defending itself, just as you say, shows it all. Because they wouldn't have to be defending themselves in this way if it is they didn't have intentions. Bad intentions. Because
that's right.
If you don't have bad intentions, why would you have to defend yourself in this way? Liberia,
and we have seen it. Hezbollah, the Houthis, and those that occupied the Gaza Strip as well, and we have seen them, of course, focus in a particular way, and debt to America, debt to Israel, and so these countries would not stand idly by and have people trample on them in the way that Iran would have had intentions. Clearly, what has happened in recent times is that their agenda has been curtailed and set at a tremendous setback. So they have compromised, but compromised in a way to save face, because they understand the chokehold of the Strait of hummus, and as a consequence, they're able to salvage something. Of course, in the United States, it has its own political, what I consider to be shenanigans taking place there, Democrats versus Republicans. If you hear a Democrat, the war has brought nothing, etc., etc., etc. When in fact, any objective thinker would see that it saved the United States and other countries in the future. But we have to go for the break, and when we come back, more.
Your future is safe with us. No matter your age or where you're from, or what doors are open to each and every one. A variety of services that's accessible and reliable. Here to show you just what service is. Helping where we can, but with a smile.
Police Credit Union, your future is safe with us.
The Trinidad and Tobago online arrival and departure card platform can be accessed at travel.gov.tt. It is free, convenient, and required information can be completed within a few minutes. Passengers must create an account using a valid email address to access the portal, which will be available 72 hours prior to travel. The online arrival and departure card is a mandatory declaration for all international passengers and replaces the former process of filling a paper form. To complete the online arrival and departure card, each traveler must have flight information, a valid passport, and must upload a picture of the passport biodata page. Receipts for immigration and customs containing a QR code will be generated upon submission. Download and save the receipts, which will also be sent via email. Edits can be made to the declaration prior to the day of travel. However, if any changes are required on the day of travel, passengers must complete a new online arrival and departure card. The QR code may be required before boarding and must be presented to officials upon arrival and departure. A transformative travel experience awaits. This was a production of the Information Division, Office of the Prime Minister.
More news, more access, more ways to stay informed. TTT News covers the stories that matter on air and online. Join us nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
From hard-hitting current affairs to real community issues and the stories that matter most to you, this is where Trinidad and Tobago comes to talk.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it low.
Bang, bang, bang. Bang, 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 bang.
Oh boy, we are back. Time check. It's about 5 minutes to the hour to 7 o'clock. And you're listening to the Ground Report. Oh boy.
Developments that are taking place. One is that there is a delegation that is carded to visit Venezuela. So I think that is something that we look forward to. Even, of course, the opposition felt that there was some trepidation, some fear, some cowardice on the part of the government to go Venezuela. Well, a delegation has been announced to visit Venezuela to specifically treat with Trinidad and Tobago's interests with respect to the cross-border arrangements of energy products, whether it be oil or gas. The other one, of course, is another development where Ralph Gonzalez, a former Prime Minister of St. Vincent, has come to the surface, and he has revealed some information that counters, of course, what is being said in Trinidad. He says that the reason for our Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, Sean Sobers, Honorable Sean Sobers, did not go to the meeting that was supposed to have selected or elected the current or the person that was eventually elected, I'm talking about the Secretary General of CARICOM, Ms. Carla, he is saying that he said that his source is reliable. He said that Mr. Sobers did not go to that particular meeting because he don't like to travel on boat, and he would have gotten seasick, and as a consequence, he didn't go. Of course, here in Trinidad, we are getting a different story, and that is that they weren't invited, they were disinvited or uninvited.
Yeah, but then how manage Rav Gonzalez out of all people who is not even said? I would expect that from Goodwood Friday, who is the Prime Minister at this point in time of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
That's the whole point. He felt that he should do that, knowing that
it means he have a hand in this. It means he have a hand. To me, it comes like you have an interest in this. Because if you don't have an interest in something, why would you even come at a point like that?
But he went further. He said that there was nothing wrong with the process, even though Trinidad and Tobago is saying that the process was bad. He's saying there's nothing wrong with the process because the regulations or the rules caters for a quorum, and there was a quorum there, and as a consequence, there was no need. And the quorum says, or the rule says, that what the quorum decides, whoever was in the quorum, and they made a decision that it is binding on everybody. So, but that is coming from him. The titular or the legal chairman at this point in time, the Premier of St. Kitts, has not made a statement to that effect or to speak to that matter as yet. So we wait and see. So that is in the public domain, in the public space. So I thought we should bring it to the attention of the population to draw their own.
It's now you see the fact that Ralph Gonzalez
says that he has a seasickness issue, and secondly that there was nothing wrong in the process because a quorum was established and a decision was made.
The fact that Ralph Gonzalez got involved in it makes me feel more that we need to do over the elections. It is what it is. It need and I hope that it go in that direction for transparency and accountability's sake. Because most times when there's a quorum and you want to set a precedent for mediocrity, because let's go for the break.
This is TTT News on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Good morning, this is your TDT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. 6 new fire tenders were officially handed over to the Penal Fire Station on Wednesday. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar marked the handover of fire tenders in Penal as a correction of a failure that should never have persisted. She dedicated the handover moment to her late mother, who she says taught her not only how to rebuild, but why we must ensure others are protected. She highlighted the struggles formerly faced by rural Trinidad due to governmental neglect, promising an end to it.
I know what it is to lose everything in 1 minute. I know what it is. I remember the promise I made when I entered public life thereafter, that under my watch, no rural community would face that kind of neglect again. That is why this moment matters more than ever. This is not simply about handing over vehicles. It is about whether the state protects its people when their lives, their homes, and their futures are on the line.
Noted that the tenders represented more than just the vehicles.
What this means, not just for Penal and the wider South, is very clear. A station here which lacked the capacity to respond will now become operational, providing our communities across this region with a service equipped and able to act when it matters. For families, What it means is more confidence. When help is called, it will come ready to respond.
In other news, Prime Minister Kamala Prasad-Bissessar has announced that a delegation from this country will travel to Venezuela to advance TNT's oil and gas interests. During her address at the handover ceremony of fire tenders in Pinal on Wednesday, the Prime Minister assured citizens that the government is working towards securing this country's energy future.
I just want to tell you we've been working really hard with the government of the United States and other governments, and that shortly a diplomatic delegation will depart Trinidad and Tobago to go to Venezuela to ensure we get our just share of the oil and gas that we partly own through the NGC. And so whilst we look to safety and security in this sense, we are looking for your safety and security in the economic space, which is very important. We have not forgotten.
In some sport news now, players from teams throughout the East-West Corridor Football League are vying for positions on the league's all-star team. The squad selected will compete against clubs in Spain, which will provide players with the opportunity to obtain high-level international exposure and a chance of securing contracts. EWCFL coordinator Travis Mulrain outlined the criteria for selection.
Well, first of all, they have to meet the age criteria, which is 19 and under. The agents insisted on that because going out to Europe, any academy, any club selecting players from the Caribbean, they would want young players that they can further develop. So that was the main criteria. And of course, performance in the league. You know, we have some very talented boys here. You know, we want to train them up, take them out there and let them represent.
And that's what's making the news at this time. When we come back, it's hour number 2 of Trinidad and Tobago Today.
That was TTT News on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Talk City 91.1 FM. Talk.
This is about creating opportunity through responsible management and citizen participation in national wealth. We are targeting US $3 billion in new investment within the next few years in energy, in construction, in tourism, and the digital economy.
Music.
It's reconstruction time in Trinidad, so put your shoulder to the wheel, man, lad, move on, don't stop till you reach the top. You put a hand and I put a hand and we will sing. For big and for small in no time at all. Prosperity. There's no other way to do it. Show your patriotic spirit. Unity. Somehow, if Trinidad ever needed you, it's now.
Culture.
The budget has goodies and some not so goodies, but that is because fairness requires that everyone plays their part.
Engaging conversations, latest news, our music. This is Talk City 91.1
The plays that
FM.
shake the arenas. The stories that move a nation.
I'm waiting for a super drive, I've got to go quick,
From football to cricket, track to tennis, every win, every rivalry, every headline. This is where Trinidad and Tobago come for sports.
TTT Sports with Nasira Mohammed, daily at 7 p.m.
Your future is safe with us. No matter your age or where you're from, or what doors are open to each and every one. A variety of services that's accessible and reliable. Here to show you just what service is. Helping where we can, but with a smile.
Police Credit Union. Your future is safe with us.
Before the sun, before the road, the talk starts here. Talk City 91.1. Any views or opinions expressed on the ground report are solely those of the hosts and callers and do not represent the views, policies, or official position of Talk City 91.1, its management, or affiliates.
This is Destra, and right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it loud. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, 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 bang.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We are back, we are back, we are back. Time check. It's 7 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. You're listening to the Gong Report. You're studio the Pitbull of Radio, Lennox Smith. Director is in studio. Let me say a pleasant good morning to all you maxi taxi drivers. All drivers. Didn't get to say that this morning. A pleasant good morning
Andy,
to you all.
Andy, but before you say all of that, I think we need to address a particular matter that came overnight to the Ground Report. And of course associated, because if we consider the Ground Report to bread and butter, I'm extending that to the listeners and those who are in the convenience of their homes. We provide them with a facility to make comments, and we will play it verbatim, hopefully without having to vet prior, and of course the circumstances is such which of course would have been communicated to the persons who would be so engaged, and we had asked them. We went extensively before we came on Talk City that we will be moving there wise only on social media, and warned the people to make sure that your commentary is so sanitized, for want of a better term, so palatable, for want of a better term, so conducive to airing and decency, that we will not find ourselves in any problems with, of course, the regulatory entity.
Half past. Yeah, why half past? Majority of the people will be owned by then. That I know that, so we'll give them the time. I
would have given them now and then as well, because it is that serious. Because if you consider it to be your bread and butter, whether you're or now, I'm sure that there are those who will, of course, extend to others who would have the tendency or would take what we are concerned about here very, very, very seriously.
That makes sense.
And that it ought not to happen. So whether now, whether just now, or whether by the end of the program, we need to make it very clear that this is a very serious situation, and we need to make certain that it is totally cut out, discontinue, right? Because we cannot countenance, we cannot monitor every single voicemail, every single commentary that somebody may have in their minds. That is the responsibility of the originator, the person from whom it is coming, the progenitor, the genesis. Because what we do, we are a conveyor by and large, and a commentator. Whilst of course you have the responsibility to say what you have to say with the appropriate content meaning that words that will not offend and therefore jeopardize your bread and butter, which is the Ground Report. I put it in that context to make you understand that it is a life associated initiative and a service that we are providing, and so we expect that you will reciprocate in a manner that will make certain that the survival and the progress and the advancement goes, because it will jeopardize other programs as well, and the license and all of the other things that goes with making it possible to give you this bread and butter every morning.
Nice. So Trinidad and Tobago, what it is Lennox Smith is talking about, which he will go through it for you all. He's talking plainly.
And we'll go again.
Right.
And we'll go again later. Yeah.
So he's talking about, again, not from the host, and not myself, not from Lennox, no Snipes, on January. That's in the beginning of the program when we now started, because we started January the 5th of this year. Somebody, we played a voice note by someone who had just the S-H-I-T, use that S-H-I-T word. We cannot allow, again, those words for Tat to write. So again, we get our first letter from Tat, right? And anybody in the future, you send a voice note, which we will still vet those voice notes and try as much as possible to vet them, will be automatically banned for life. We just don't want your voice notes again. and I will put the number for wherever that voice note come from, and I'll put they hate the Gong Report. That's what I'll put by the number. Hate the Gong Report, want the Gong Report, want that to write the Gong Report right through. So when I see that number show up, I know this is a hater of the Gong Report that sending this message again. So I know not to play it. Right, Lennox Smith, go ahead now and let them know what it is. Came up with that there.
Yes, indeed. And of course, as you know, this is a network. So it means that one difficulty in one area certainly will expand into other areas, and therefore the entire, what I consider to be ecology, will certainly be affected. So the entire system will be affected. That is how crucial your role is, and how you must pay total and absolute attention to what you are saying, because this is about talk. This is not printed material where you could, do it in advance and vet and so on. This is about immediate. This is about live. This is about interactiveness within a 3-hour period, and we cannot afford to have people disrespecting one or making mistakes. Can you afford to make mistakes and say, there's a word that's support because I'm so angry? No, it will not be countenanced. It will not, and it cannot work simply because too much is at stake at this stage, including your bread and butter, which of course is the Ground Report itself.
Which is your voice, your voice.
Yes. We got of course a correspondence yesterday, in fact. So I thought overnight, as I said, even though of course the incident took place on the 28th of January. Some may say that that was early days, and people would have of course settled down now, and therefore that will no longer materialize. We cannot take that chance. Our job is to let you know that that is not permissible, whether now, then, and forever. All right. Essentially, Tat wrote and was concerned, as Andy said, about that particular word that was used. I'm not going to go into any details here, except to say that the station administrators at the highest level have, of course, communicated to us, and we have a duty to let you know that the situation is not acceptable, and that we will take appropriate measures to the extent to which we can be as severe as possible, and give the assurance to all and sundry, including TAT, that type of behavior is not condoned by anybody at all, on the Ground Report in particular. And I could put my neck on a block for any other arm of the administration here at Talk City, as well as TTT administration, and all of the various sub-entities that comes under this particular umbrella.
Nice.
All
so
right?
y'all,
I prefer to be generic.
just that one word, right?
Go specific.
Just don't use the Shoops word. The SHIT is not allowed. It's absolutely not allowed.
And you must know. Use your discretion. You must know, and that is what is annoying. You know.
But how it was used again? How it was used again?
Let me tell you something. We receive calls from adults. This is adult programming. This is not a children's show. And I think anytime we have to keep telling people minor things like these, which means we have a serious problem. We have a serious problem with some of our callers. That means they have no right calling a radio station, because basic teachings in school would tell you that their language that are foul, and you're not supposed to use them in certain places. As an adult, you probably use it in your home or to express yourself otherwise, but not on international radio. Everybody know that. We know we don't go into the church and say certain things. We know we don't sit before the magistrate and say certain things, or say certain things to police officers. What make you feel it's all right to use up a certain language on international radio? Come on.
Nice.
Come on. We need to be a little more responsible.
Nice. So Trinidad and Tobago, you all get the one.
We will regurgitate again a little later, because it is so what I consider to be concerning that we need to to say it more than once, so people get the message, make your contribution, but do not, of course, sacrifice your bread and butter called the ground report.
But what I would like them to think, because people will watch it as simple, because it went in the direction of Andy, the voice note went in the direction of Andy Kingsley talking the SH word. And that's all. It's so simple. When many of we would have watched it, but that's so simple. Kingsley talking, you, and KFC talking, had to. Understand? And that, just that, you know. It's just that. So I do that for you all to see how bad just that simple thing could cause major problem. Just that. Andy Kingsley talking, bam. And KFC talking, bam. And that was a voice note. So it can't happen, right, y'all? Nice. And we're going to regurgitate that again in the near future. So here it is.
And for our foreign friends as well, it is simply not permissible, because I know you have your own culture. Obscenity is part and parcel of the culture. In Trinidad, we still have a prohibition of such expressions.
No, but that word is not obscene.
That you will
it's not obscene.
No, but the culture there, they accept obscenity as part of their culture, their language. So I'm just saying that that word may be
accepted away
put in the category of obscene, but I just showing, I just pointing out that that and all is not permissible here in Trinidad, and of course on this program and on the frequency that we operate.
Nice.
All right, we
so
have to go for a break?
No, we go one time Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh yeah, capiche one time. Yes.
So again, I want to believe people win yesterday. Yeah. With the Marks IC play.
Let's hope so.
Wow, nah, boy, with the Marks IC play. I want to believe if they were smart, they mine it. Because I swear I see 4. I swear that played yesterday. I swear I see 21 that played yesterday. But Snipes, what was our marks? And what was the marks that played yesterday? Courtesy NLCB. Wow.
Okay, so yesterday we our callers chose 14, 31, 10, and 9.
14, 31, 10, and 9.
And your pick 26. Yesterday was 26.
All right, and what played yesterday?
Yesterday at 10:30 a.m. we had number 21. At 1 p.m. we had number 4. At 4 p.m. we had number 3. And at 7 p.m. we had number 26.
The 26 play?
26 play. So your capiche was correct.
Wow. I remember I said that was Bacchanal. That was for Bossman.
For Bacchanal.
Yeah, for Bossman.
So
I say, where's Bacchanal? Where's Bossman? It played 26. Well, people might win that, boy. I can't say if I win that because, people might say, well, Andy, run away something. But I think I played for $1.
For $1, you played for $1.
Yeah,
Once it's $1, you can't run nothing.
He wants to make sure that he wades off the avalanche of let's say persons who will come with cap in hand.
But just like choosing a capiche as a culture in the playway, give me something if you win as a culture as well.
Yeah, you know that for sure. That is fact.
Yeah, because they see it as unearned money.
Yeah, give us something.
unearned money. You ain't work hard for it.
Yeah, you win that. You get that free. Yeah, but you pay for it.
Yeah. Of course, you paid for it, and I'm sure that the winning ticket or number would be, especially if it is multiple or if it is replicated many times. I'm sure that the source of the money, will look at that as with a cookie eye.
But what about the people who
That's too much money to pay out.
Yeah.
Even though, of course, on this program we say, well, listen, NLCB is a company that loves to give money.
Yeah, but what about the day before? What was the marks the day before? Yeah, because I want to believe if who mine would have still kept something.
Well, the day before, which would have been the 7th, we had 20, 12, 36, and 21. Those were the marks.
The 21 the day before. So who marked the 21?
The winning marks the day before would have been 29, 16, 16, 27.
Oh God.
All right. Well, people, of course, it's time for you to make your input.
Yeah.
Courtesy, of course, NLCB. This could only be possible. The company that loves to give money. So, of course, it's your turn to get some.
Yes.
But give us your number, your pick, and we will, of course, take note, and Andy will give his capiche afterwards.
So the line's open.
24911.
Yeah.
People win yesterday, though. 26 Playboy. Wow. People win.
I find you harping on that, I'm going to check you.
Call it correct. You gotta check it.
And he knows that his wife and I are good friends.
14.
Yeah. Today's mark is 14.
Why?
14, okay.
Why 14?
14 on the shelf.
Because I did that on his shelf. 26 was on his shelf too.
Oh.
So you
On
marking?
the shelf for a while now. 14.
Yeah.
14 money. Yeah.
20 on the shelf for a while now too. 20 on
So
the
the
shelf for a while
mining.
And if I win the 14, I'll get somebody.
All right, but don't play for $1,
No. I just paid for $20 and $40 and thing.
Right. I will get something, man. Very good. You'll get that 14. That
Yeah.
14 playing today. Right, that is one. Next
It's on
caller.
the shelf right now.
It's on the shelf. Shoot. 14. That's some.
Good morning, Professor Andy. Lennox Metal Director Snipes. I am a name call. I was doing my lectures and looking to go out and hunt for my bread because I can't stay back with my bread. You have to be packed up with your words.
Yeah. Can't you
Yeah,
really
somebody
sit there?
said something bad about you,
Yeah.
and we got reprimanded for it because we allowed it to go across the
Yeah,
air.
but
So we
came in our voice.
tried to not
I
make that
mean,
happen.
find that
We allowed it
the last 9 years
inadvertently
plus.
by
When we was
accident.
camping in the next station, I boiled the last week, calling and cussing. No,
No, it wasn't curse. It wasn't a curse.
That going to Parliament too.
It wasn't a curse rally,
With
but
them,
again.
them 41
But wait, KFC. Right. You see, I want to make sure it must not come across in Trinidad and Tobago, and for all who listening, that didn't hear, thinking when somebody cursed. No. It was a voice note that came. Listen. There was a voice note that came in that stated KFC talking the SHI word that cannot use here. All right, which is, let me say, well, two. And this next one talking 2, which is number two, which is what you call him? Oh God,
Kingsley.
So they say Kingsley talking 2, as in the number two, and KFC talking 2. And that 2, we get reprimanded for that. So it wasn't nobody curse or anything. So I just wanted to say it over again to let you all know. While you all will feel that, hey, but that is not nothing, it's not a curse. No, it's just not allow. It's one of the words that
Foul language.
Foul language. That don't want it. Right? They don't want it.
But
Right.
Andy, but is that part of the toxicity? What are you using them kind of words?
No. Nobody, and we don't know who sent the voice note. It was a voice note.
We don't know. Yeah. It's a voice note, KFC.
Yeah, it was a voice note. It's a voice note saying you talking to and.
So it was anonymous. Nobody knew who it came from, as usual, with certain exceptions like yourself.
Right. So we don't know your mark today. Where's your mark?
He doesn't know about being jacket and tie, so I talking to.
Right.
I like 21.
21.
So, yeah.
21.
I'll keep my mouth shut. Bless.
21. Right. So that's 2 so far. We gotta get 2 more. Come on, y'all. What's your marks for today? I mean, who only win the 26? Some only win the 26. Don't tell me only had to contribute now too. call in and give me a mark because surely when the 26 and all have money to play today. So come on, I'm going to get all the numbers. For those who don't know the numbers, I want to contribute to the mark for today. Courtesy NLCB, the company that just loves to give money. I like the definition that Lennox Smith put to that in a way. A company that just loves to give money. Boy, 225-6644, 225-6644, or 239-5120, 239-5120, or give us a call to N Talk City. The studios of Talk City at 622-4911. 622-4911. Go ahead, caller.
Morning, fellas. Let me tell you something. The winners play where you don't play mark, you just play line. So, like, see how that 26 play? That 26 will run pull the 5 lines. So people who run along the 14 wouldn't win money. You had to play the entire 5 line. 5, 14, 23, 32. And they go jump out with either 5, 32 or 23 and they go play a wrong ride. That's how you just have to catch that play, man. Don't go and run down one man.
Is a serious man, boy.
I'm telling you, yes.
But if you have to give one, because you can only give one, what you would choose?
Well, I go foul in the cub, so that will be 26, 23. Well, we got to interpret cub as foul cub as 23 in a house. So chicken in the house. And 23 I could choose if I had to choose one, but I got block up the entire line. You see the whole 5 line? I got put a 20 across the board and I sure money jumping out in my pocket and I'm blocking it by the Chinese too, so they don't get spare.
Oh my God. No. Only don't play there by no Chinese.
You can't do that.
Yeah, we can't don't play by no Chinese. We only playing by NLCB.
We only know about NLCB.
Exactly. The Chinese illegal. If only see anybody playing by the Chinese, let we know. All right. At the end of the day, NLCB have been doing a lot. Giving back a lot to Trinidad and Tobago. The Chinese, when you play there, that money just going on the ship and heading back to China. It can't no get back. When you check in the groceries, majority of the people working there is them. And now they say hardly local. The Spanish. First Chinese really didn't like. We people, it used to just be Chinese, and I might just put one local. Now they got the Venezuelan, it's the Chinese, and the Venezuelans. You barely see locals working in a Chinese grocery. And that's bad.
Right, well, I mean, we would pay no attention to that because it really doesn't apply. It is an illegal thing. So we would not engage as such. But let me give all of my logic based on all what I've been hearing.
But let me get the next mark now.
Yesterday, so 26 was played yesterday. Listen to my logic now.
All right, let me hear.
Well, what I want to do, the 6, I go cut off the extension, right, and turn it into a 0, and that will be the number.
Where's that? 3?
Well, and 6 have an extension. Yesterday was 26 or so.
Yeah.
So I'm saying I'm cutting off the head at the 6, so it will become 0. So it's now 20.
All right. I think we'll take yours.
No, let me take something.
No, that's logic. Logic based on what I try to make up my own.
Well, let's take a call.
Take a call. Everybody make it up here, so why can't we come by?
My boy's in line, so you come with yours.
Into a 0. Yeah.
Just might work. Hello, caller.
Hello, morning.
Yeah, what's your number?
29.
Why?
Oh, so he turned my 6 upside down.
Yeah.
That is what had happened. That is what will happen.
Yeah, you
29.
Okay.
And remember today is in 9.
Oh, right. Okay, you have an additional rationale. All right. You better than me, boy.
Hey, boy. I only
cut off the 6 head. And make it 0. He says it's 29. And because the day is the night as well, so you had an additional.
So Andy, we're taking your
your capital.
Yeah, but I go with a shelf number because one of the shelf number and them did come, which was 26, and I think look how long people running down the 14, which is already there, but a number that people running down that have not come for a while is really and truly. I think 20 haven't come for a while. Huh? When last you heard that 20 play Snipes, you have any 20 registered in that at all there? Because if not 20, I don't think
Like dog, you know.
Yeah, that didn't play for a while. Mouth played, the 21 played. I know 21 played, but I know 20 ain't played for a while.
No 20 in a long time, man.
Right, so that kind of like a shelf number, which is dog. How long now we running down that dog? We ain't getting it. At least we get the 26 off that shelf. So let me see if we can pull the dog off the shelf now. I mean, I come here too long. Let me come
Cut
out
off the head of that 6.
No 20, no.
I tune it into 0.
You're correct, Andy. No
I get 20.
Yeah. Lennox boy, your logic there, boy. Like how it is dance, boy. What the hell is this? The man cut off a part of a number.
And it's learned fast.
So we going with 20, Andy?
Yeah, we'll go with 20.
So TNT, if you missed it, the pick for today inside the ground report: 14 money, 21 mouth, 23 house, 29 opium man, and of course Andy's capiche for today is 20 dog. Good luck.
Yeah, he cut off the head of the 6.
So thanks so much.
0.
Yeah, boy. But all I hear Lennox make logic now how he gain him mark. He chopping off part of mark. So let me say Lennox Smith, let me chop off at 2, half of a 2. What mark is that you're going to tell me we are playing?
When I figure it out.
But you have to think about it.
Yeah, we come to the end of course of this
logic.
Yeah. I don't getting involved and getting adapted. All right, so of course we have come to that end. We have to go for a break.
Yeah.
But
we go for a
courtesy
break, of course. Courtesy.
Yeah. Go ahead, Lennox.
CB, the company that loves to what? To give money. So best of luck to all of you. When we come back more on this edition of the Ground Report.
Your news, anytime, anywhere. TTT News brings you the facts that matter most, on air and online. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
The Trinidad and Tobago online arrival and departure card platform can be accessed at travel.gov.tt. It is free, convenient, and required information can be completed within a few minutes. Passengers must create an account using a valid email address to access the portal, which will be available 72 hours prior to travel. The online arrival and departure card is a mandatory declaration for all international passengers and replaces the former process of filling a paper form. To complete the online arrival and departure card, each traveler must have flight information, a valid passport, and must upload a picture of the passport biodata page. Receipts for immigration and customs containing a QR code will be generated upon submission. Download and save the receipts, which will also be sent via email. Edits can be made to the declaration prior to the day of travel. However, if any changes are required on the day of travel, passengers must complete a new online arrival and departure card. The QR code may be required before boarding and must be presented to officials upon arrival and departure. A transformative travel experience awaits. This was a production of the Information Division, Office of the Prime Minister.
This is Destra. Right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, 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 bang.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Nice, we are back. Time check. It's approximately 36 minutes past the hour. 7 o'clock, and you're listening to the Ground Report. You're also the pitbull of radio in studio, Lennox Smith, and the director Snipes. So, John Tobago, let's go organize, go to your calls while we organize and go to into some very other serious front burners. We know it have a ceasefire for two weeks. We also know a delegation will be heading to Venezuela to seek the interests of Trinidad and Tobago, in which our national gas company have shares in. Right? We also know that in San Fernando, a businessman was killed, allegedly by his wife. Shot and killed. We also know a tragic incident took place in Tobago, whereby it had a place, a area zoned off, where jet skis don't supposed to be, and tragedy hit, whereby a jet ski hit or collided with a young 7-year-old girl that ended up dead today. That's bad. That's bad. We also was awakened by the sad news. Just now. We also We also was awakened by the bad and sad news for those of you that are now joining us of the passing of Mr. Ramnarine from Canada. He passed away the same day that he called on the program here. Mr. Ramnarine from Canada called the morning at 8:20 a.m. and he passed away the same morning, which is the day of my birthday, the 7th of April. He passed away the afternoon with a massive heart attack. So Mr. Ramnarine is no longer with us. So each and every one of you, the family members and friends that are listening, we want to again, on behalf of the Ground Report, send condolences to the family and of Mr. Ramnarine. He was indeed a friend to the Ground Report, a shareholder of the Ground Report, a supporter of the Ground Report, and he played a major role through the COVID when in letting us know what's going on in Canada when it coming to the COVID incident. That was our correspondent from Canada there, Mr. Ramnarine. Go ahead now, Lennox Smith, you go ahead.
Yes, and I was referring to, of course, the tragedies that are unfolding.
Yeah, but it's bad.
I'm seeing in this country, but I was focusing on the women that may be under attack. I've seen, of course, an exception to the rule on this occasion where a woman shot a man, but prior to that, or that may be an exception, as I said, because it appears that woman is the target. There's another incident where a woman was called out of her home thinking that somebody was indicating that they want a vehicle to be, they have a vehicle to sell, and then she was shot. Yeah. So we have that situation. Of course, I think the murder toll now is 98, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, compared to last year around the same time, it will be 100. 98. So it's 109, I believe, around the same time. So we are still below, but certainly not acceptable, having regard to the fact that we are in a state of emergency as well. But I want to indicate to women that they should be a little more circumspect and that you be very, very, very careful, because, I mean, it appears that women and the children, because we had 2 instances where child actually died in the San Grande side, and then we had another incident. No, the child actually died in St. James. With the father and the child, and then, of course, in the east, we had, of course, think the child might have escaped. So we have to be very, 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 very careful. I can't say no, be careful where you're sleeping either, because they're coming for you right there as well. So all I could say to people, just be conscious of your environment. If you know you have a certain, what I consider to be animosity with anybody, try to pacify it. Don't be too aggressive, or don't be aggressive, because the situation may well be, the life you save may well be your own.
Right, so trying to make sure the lines are open, eh? The lines are open. So I'm going to make some voice notes here quick. I'm going to do some voice notes there very, very, very quick while we organize, right. A lot of voice notes, man. A lot of voice notes.
Morning, Andy. Morning, Lennox. Morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Good program so far, guys. Anyhow, morning. While I was coming up the roads to work, I was listening to a station, 96.7. These people If you listen to these people, they're uneducated, uninformed. They're not with reality to what's going on and the benefits that Kamala is doing. They're talking about Venezuela. Kamala going to Venezuela. If she go be safe. You understand? These people, since yesterday, I did this station, these people have been playing outside there. I don't know if that's a PLM station. But they have nothing good to say about the UNC government and nothing good to say about Kamala. All the good the woman is doing. These people are the Israelis who was ungrateful to God when Moses delivered them. Trinidad and Tobago, half of all you, blind all you can't see the truth up to now. Understand? All you ungrateful. Christ will come and all you will still be waiting for Christ to come to see the Messiah. All you ungrateful, all you half blinded, half truth, Pianamites.
Lennox, when America go into a war, we go in to win, not to be second. We go in there to win. Strategy. Come up with a plan. You have your admiral and the big people coming up with ideas. How you could win if you're going to bomb up a country. Look how we do with Venezuela in a day. We come up with plan, ideas. But I keep telling all I keep saying Venezuela, Iran is no Venezuela. An old civilization, just think how to protect their life for 2,000 years to us. That's what I'm trying to tell you, Andy. And yeah, we have the might to weapon. But it takes a man with a slinging shot to kill a big giant. Remember? The script here, or the script here, a man with a slinging shot kill a giant. All right, Andy, think about that later.
Alright, so we get your voice. Now let me go into the rest by the meanwhile here quick.
The only addition I have to make to that is that
Good morning, Digongwi.
In both instances, Venezuela as well as Iran, how is that reconciled? Go ahead with that voice.
Condolences, Mr. Rabnarayan, family, and we will miss his contribution. Andy, could you get this message to Lennox? Tell him to please give me a call. It's urgent. I want to talk to him on some issue I have here. I like that very much. Yes, Andy, the Macwa today, I saying it one time, it's 36. You know who that is?
Pleasant good morning, Mikey, Lennox, Andy, and Sir Snipes. Well, what I have to say this morning is condolences to the family who was in Tobago, with the tragedy with the young girl. But let me see, how we could prevent something like this ever happening again. And, we just trying to see if we could prevent it, as they would say. So, what can we do? I personally think it's just a suggestion. So I think that, like certain beaches and things now should make it mandatory that, the government place or whoever it is, the tourist board or whatever it is, have ambulance there, like, 8 hours, that type of thing, stand by for 8 hours there on some of these main beaches and them that we have throughout Trinidad and Tobago, just in case something happened there in the vicinity, you understand? Some of these ambulances are very expensive and relief, so, but still there is something to invest in. That's one, and things like maybe the jet skis and them, they have to be registered now, with a number on the side of their boats or whatever the case may be. So let me see if we could do things to prevent these things from happening, or put up a place where, we got to do something. So I just making a suggestion, ambulance there on some main beaches, like for instance, Maracas and all these other places, because it takes 40 minutes for that ambulance to get there. So, that was just a lifeline there, maybe they could have saved her, we don't know. But still there, let me see what we could do now, come up with some good ideas and try to save the citizens from this kind of tragedy. All right? Blessings, everyone.
Andy, good morning again to you, Lennox, Nigel, and to everybody out there. I want to tell Busman something. This program is about correcting misinformation. And you don't like the fact that we're correcting your misinformation, your lies, your propaganda, your half-truths and your innuendos, you know what to do. You're criticizing the old lady from Tobago, but I want to remind you, Busman, right? Every day that we get up, each and every one of us, our footsteps are closer to the departure lounge. So when you want to ridicule old people, apparently you don't have an old mother or old father or an old relative, but you sounding like an old man, right? Your foot is very close, your feet, sorry, my correction. Your feet are very close to the departure lounge. So please, have some respect for the elderly. If you have none for yourself, right, with your lies, have some for the elderly. Because I'm absolutely sure, as I said before, your parents, your mother especially, is an old woman as well. You people, yes, and I'll say it, you people, the first thing that you all can lash out at is people age. But age is a gift. It's a privilege that a lot of people don't see. So you better start counting your lucky stars. Because you don't know when the good Lord is going to be ready for you. And bring you to that level that you're always criticizing. It's a pleasure to be a senior citizen, to be an old person. Remember that.
Good morning, Lennox. Good morning, Professor Andy. I put a handle to your name. I hear your story. Yesterday on Shabadin. What a touching story. But I was in that situation. And I thanking God for life, health, and strength. I've been through the good, the bad, the ugly. And I'm still here. And they see the world was praying for Donald Trump to tap the hand. Who win the war? Nobody wins that war. But we want peace in the world today. Donald Trump is a madman. And the all roads lead to Cuba by the 25th of April. They're calling all loyalists, all supporters. And they must say good morning to the Honorable Prime Minister. I love that woman too bad. You know? She's a woman making sure and take care of sheep people. All that she's a government for everybody, but to sheep people, you see that 6 fire truck where she giving Barapo and penal environs. That was them black leaders and them do for the people who are concerned voting them in the East West corridor. No proper schools, nothing at all. All they learn now, all they learn from 2010 to 2015. See about your people. Honorable Kamala says, and that's you rocking with the head, you know. But he has some tail. They with a wicked intention.
Andy Lennox morning. Here now, you know, I don't understand what some Trinidadians. For 9.5 years, they went through stress, right? Tightening a belt, all kind of insult under the PNM. This government in office under a year now, and they expect everything to change in one year or in a couple of months. People need to understand. Remember that 10 years of mismanagement that this government has to deal with, you know. If they're expecting to change one time, the woman have 5 years to deliver, if not all, most of what she promised. Just give it time. But what with this really going people, boy? For 10 years, 9.5 years to 10 years, all they had bad roads, neglecting certain areas, and all they never see a problem. All they wanted done overnight. Come now, man, give the woman a chance.
Morning, everybody here. About the Iran thing, for goodness sakes. You see, Iran, Andy, this is what happens when you do not play nobody's voice messages. Yesterday, a chap called, And he's so ashamed of what happened in the US. The Trinidad living in America, and he's talk funny. And this deal, and they've won, and da da da. And this morning, you all are basically repeating that. In the absence of some information. I tried to give it yesterday, I'll give it today again. This war was never about beating up on Iran. It had much bigger purposes. And Trump's main purpose, besides presenting deterrence to China, is he intends to abandon things like NATO and to force them to do this work because he don't need the oil. He has his oil, biggest oil producer in the world, and he has Venezuela as backup. It is countries in Europe that have for decades leached on the US for their defense and their deterrence, and then cussing them at the same time. All they go and open the streets because it's all their oil. All right? Iran missiles can't reach me, and if they do, I can shoot them down, but they can reach all here. Go and deal with it now. He stirred the pot, and he left everybody stewing. All right? And the press is the problem, because what that chap yesterday and what you all are relying on today is nonsense in the press. Nonsense from CNN that's saying that the current deal, the Pakistani deal, is based on an Iranian deal, a 10-point plan, which include concepts like Iran will be allowed to enrich their uranium, keep their uranium. The press is seemingly for the Iranians against Trump because what all sanctions lifted, crazy concepts like that look like, hey, Iran beat them. No. It turned out to be a complete lie. CNN had to retract, and there may be a lawsuit coming. There was a news report from Nigeria that CNN has carbon copied, and it was from some inside source within Iran, and then check who it was. It turned out to be propaganda, right? But you see, the world press is adversarial against Trump, and he uses it against them. So he says, I'm going to level Iran, and da-da-da. And they all jumped up and started saying things like, he's going to nuke Iran. That's the kind of craziness you have happening in the press today. And if you listen to them for 1 second, you're going to end up skewed. So let me give you some raw information, and you make up your mind. The Americans have the ability to demine the Strait of Hormuz today, just like they did back in the 1980s. But back in the 80s, they had old technology, right? During the Iran-Iraq war, over 4 years, that lasted. 400 ships, the Americans stepped in and reopened the Strait of Hormuz. If they could do it then, they could do it now. But what do they have now? They have unmanned drones, submarines that can do it. Don't believe me. Go Google Orca or Manta Ray or Anduril's Copperhead or Razorback. Any of these programs the US have right now that can, is this robots, drones, they go underwater, find the mines, destroy them. No humans involved. Why aren't they doing it? Because Trump is using this strategically. He's going to force NATO to do it. And he's going to force the Europeans to do it for his own purposes. This war was never about what all they think it is. It is about, one, preventing World War III, and two, dismantling the world order. And we here in Trinidad are doing a similar thing with CARICOM. At least I hope we are. Because a lot of these global institutions are not fit for purpose anymore. They were captured by the Chinese. That's what Trump is about, dismantling all of that. And if you're too blind by your dislike of him, then you won't be able to see it. Don't believe me? Go Google the things I just tell you about and try to put the pieces together and see if it makes sense, what you're hearing in the news right now.
Very good. Good morning, Andy Williams. Good morning, Lennox Smith. Good morning to the magnificent Snipes. Good morning. Mighty wherever you may be. Those who stream on World Wide Web, those who in Trinidad and Tobago. Pleasant good morning to each and every one of you. My Santa Cruz got to the head of the class. You couldn't say it much better. I just listen. I doesn't want to comment at all on that. Because sometimes it just does irritate my ears now. But anyhow, go to the head of the class and well spoken this morning. I love your contribution. Blessed love to you and your family. Good morning again, Trinidad and Tobago.
Good morning, Ground Report. The most important solution to our country's problems is to pray without ceasing to God the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, putting our trust fully in God and not in our own understanding. God says, I will be with you always, even unto the end of the world. We just have to trust Him, and He will direct our paths. As the Prime Minister always say, put God in front and walk behind.
Pleasant good morning, Mikey, Lennox, Andy, and Sir Snipes. Well, this is just my solution, to a problem that we may be facing. It's concerning the highways, I'm just making a suggestion, maybe we could take up on it, is that on the highways itself, there's the electronic or digital boards that they could run off a solar panel across the road itself, so that they can monitor people's speed limit. Some people just be focusing on their gauges and speeding above the normal speed rate. So maybe it's an overhead digital board that each lane could show that how fast you're going before you actually reach there. So that when people could be driving straight, you look up. While they're driving, you go be seeing it straight across over the road, digital, and you can know how fast you're going, so you can reduce your speed and drive with more caution. So this is just my opinion. Maybe it's a solution to something that we might be able to take up on, whoever is listening, and consider it. All right, blessings everyone.
Nah, that makes sense. Just watch your thing in front of you. Like plenty money to put out, however, we don't know what is the speed limit.
Speedometer.
Yeah, just watch your speedometer.
Yeah, because of course there is a concern about the proliferation of signs on the roadway that in itself distracts. So just as our telephone call me when you could just look at your speedometer and of course control your speed. So that may be a nice sounding idea, but certainly it may not be practical having regard to some of the nuances or the concerns that one would have for gazing unnecessarily and getting distracted by looking at something outside or beyond the screen or above your head as you pass. You may well bump into some other vehicle rear. So whilst but I know that is an idea, and of course we have taken note. We have another.
Yeah, we have to go for the 8 o'clock news,
yes.
But by the meanwhile, Boko Goat and Crab Race Festival.
Yeah, in Tobago.
Yeah,
that's a good one. But of course, we have to go for the news, and when we come back after the news, of course, we'll deal with these and other issues, which of course are making the news at this time.
Good morning. This is your TDT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. The Buku Marine Park will remain closed on Thursday following a tragic incident on Wednesday that claimed the life of a young girl. During a Facebook Live address on Wednesday evening, Tobago House of Assembly Chief Secretary Fali Agustin extended his condolences to the Jogi family, mourning the loss of their daughter, Angelica. He confirmed that the collision took place at Pigeon Point Heritage Park within an area designated for bathing.
With a family that included mother, father, daughter, and an uncle. As a result of the incident, we have the death of a young girl between 7 and 8 years old. And we want to first start by expressing sympathies to the Jogi family. Arnold and Salisha Jogi are the parents, and their young daughter Angelica unfortunately passed away despite best efforts.
And in some breaking news, police currently have a 32-year-old man in custody in connection with the incident. Reports indicate that the jet ski operator involved fled the scene after the collision, abandoning the jet ski. Chief Secretary Fali Agustin also announced that the entire Buku Marine Park, including Pigeon Point, will be closed on Thursday to allow investigators to conduct their work. In other news, the Ministry of Energy and Energy Affairs convened a meeting Ernesto Quesar met with representatives of the Energy Solutions Finance Department of the Japan Bank for International Corporation, Mitsubishi Gas Chemical and Mitsubishi Corporation, and Caribbean Gas Chemical Limited to discuss ongoing collaboration within the energy sector. During the meeting, representatives from JBIC and Caribbean Gas Chemical Limited shared updates on project assessments and production performance for fiscal year 2025. Minister Quesar emphasized the government's commitment to building strong partnerships with international financial institutions and investors to support responsible investment, innovation, and sustainable growth. He noted that continued collaboration with JBIC, MGC and MC, and CGCL remains important to advancing major projects and supporting the modernization of Trinidad and Tobago's energy sector. In more news, the World Bank is reporting that economic growth in Latin America and the Caribbean is projected to slow to 2.1% in 2026, below the 2.4% growth rate recorded in 2025. In its Latin America and the Caribbean Economic Update publication, the World Bank cited a challenging macroeconomic environment as a key factor behind the subdued outlook. Other factors include inflationary pressures linked to geopolitical uncertainty, high borrowing costs, and weak external demand. These factors are dampening private investment and job creation in the region. The report recommended several things needed for sustained growth, including closing the skills gap, expanding access to financing, deepening trade integration, and building institutional capacity. The report was published on Wednesday. And in some sport now, World Rugby Level 3 coach and scout Steve Lewis said local rugby players need to be introduced to contact skills at an earlier age, noting that early exposure is vital to their overall development. Lewis, who took part in the Custom Sports Stores Limited 2026 Rugby Easter Camp, was speaking on what he described as a lack of contact play among rugby teams within the school system.
I know it's a school's issue that they don't want contact for safety reasons, which is understandable. But as long as you're teaching a sport safely and correctly, then there is no danger. So, and the earlier you learn how to be safe and how to deal with contact, the better. So it's difficult for Trinidadian kids to start at 16 and 17. That's very difficult for them. And so when they go into international competition as 19, 20, they're at a disadvantage.
And that was your TDT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. From all of us here to you, have a great day.
That was TTT News on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Talk City 91.1 FM. Talk.
The Cabinet has approved the increase in the permissible age of importation of foreign-use right-hand drive private cars, that's sports utilities, SUVs, sedans, and station wagons, powered by gasoline, dieseline, or compressed natural gas, CNG, from 3 years to under 8 years and under from the date of manufacture.
Music. Culture.
As Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has announced recently with our revitalization master plan, we are open for business, and a key area, a key focus of that master plan is, of course, the energy sector and the energy hub. And we will be open for business not only for Nutrien, but for all other players that wish to discuss their investment portfolio with us.
Engaging conversations, latest news, our music. This is Talk City 91.1 FM.
Forests like Acerite Nature Center are more than scenic spaces. They are living systems that protect wildlife, regulate the climate, and preserve biodiversity in a rapidly changing world. As development pressures and environmental threats increase, places like Acerite remind us why conservation isn't optional. It is actually essential. According to Biodiversity Manager Giselle Ragunanan, protecting spaces like this has taken on even greater importance in recent years. So here's the question. Why is protecting spaces like Acerite so important, especially now?
old forests like the ones that you find at the Asa Wright Nature Center and the Northern Range Valley, it carries ecological memory. They carry indicator species that's present there that tells a lot about habitat health of the surrounding environment. It tells you about the relationships that take generations to form with all of the wildlife, where genetically the wildlife here feels safe and have passed that through their DNA to inform their offspring that this is a safe space, that they can inhabit and reproduce safely here. And for us, continuity matters more than numbers. So it is quite an important thing to protect what we have.
Right now, natural spaces are disappearing faster than most people realize. At Westminster's Asa Wright Nature Center isn't just beautiful, it's a refuge for wildlife. It's a living classroom and a reminder of what healthy ecosystems look like. Protecting plants like this helps preserve biodiversity. It supports climate resilience and it gives future generations a chance to experience nature, not through screens, but nature in real life.
But conservation isn't only the responsibility of scientists or managers. Visitors also play a role in protecting what they come to enjoy. What small actions can everyday visitors take to help preserve this environment?
For a hiker, staying on a trail path and not walking off the trail is one. Respecting wildlife and not leaving anything behind in the forest after you visited a waterfall. Removing your garbage with you out of the forest after you've finished a day in the forest. So visitors can also even support conservation too by sharing what they've learned, by choosing sustainable habits at home and valuing green spaces in their own communities. So even just developing respect for nature is, for me, a powerful first step. It's something that I've only learned through doing the wrong things at first and then correcting them afterwards. And guess what? I'm still learning every single day that there's always more that you can do for this forest that is all around us and for the wildlife that's all around us daily.
You've been listening to Manager Matthew Haddad and Biodiversity Manager Giselle Ragunanan from the Asa Wright Nature Center, explaining why protecting this forest is a shared responsibility. Every visit is an opportunity to be mindful, respectful, and supportive of the natural world. By taking small, thoughtful actions, visitors help ensure that places like Asa Wright remain protected for generations to come.
Anyone can call the reservations line at 675-5364, or you can WhatsApp us at 497-5385.
In our next episode, we step behind the scenes to learn what life is really like for people who care for the forest every day.
This was a production of the Information Division, Office of the Prime Minister.
Your future is safe with us. No matter your age or where you're from, or what doors are open to each and every one. A variety of services that's accessible and reliable. Here to show you just what services, helping where we can, but with a smile.
Police Credit Union, your future is safe with us.
Voices you know, trust, and respect are the very best in talk. Talk City 91.1.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked. Bang, 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 bang.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let me see you, Lennox Smith. We are back, we are back, we are back. Time check. It's about 11 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. You're listening to the Ground Report. You're shooting the pitbull of radio, Lennox Smith. Director's time in studio. Trinidad and Tobago. Oh boy. Lennox, what else you have for us? What else you have for us?
Well, of course, the big question really is whether or not the Prime Minister will be leading that delegation to Venezuela. And of course, those of us who have been following and analyzing the situation would have to engage in such a way so as to say, no, I don't expect her to be heading that delegation to Venezuela for obvious reasons. I think people who are in the know with, who have been following will understand that. And it will be, of course, good diplomatic prudency that she does not attract attention unnecessarily away from the interests of Trinidad and Tobago, with respect, of course, to that critical cross-border gas and or oil arrangements that have been in the air for a very long time, what, about 2-3 decades and counting. And of course, for the first time, you're seeing, of course, the possibility, the real possibility that that will come to fruition, having regard to the new circumstances of Venezuela and the Venezuelan-United States relations, and indeed the Trinidad and Tobago United States relations, which of course could only be beneficial to Trinidad and Tobago. Quite apart from what is happening in the Middle East, it means therefore the price of a barrel of oil, we have not been able to increase production in such circumstance.
We ain't here, you know, we ain't here, but we ain't in here real. I ain't in here real. However, I hear something
increase.
So production increase.
I don't know why that is happening.
Right.
Production increase should be the order of the day, and I'm sure that with these new arrangements, we have Chevron coming in, we have, of course, Exxon coming in, we have the possibility of making a deal or forming a relationship with that of Guyana and Suriname. I think Trinidad and Tobago is in a very good place. Why am I saying all of that? I'm saying all of that to say that the old people have a saying, patience is virtue. And all of these moving parts will come together. And of course, the process, I believe, in terms of the outcome, will certainly be in around the half of the next year. But certainly, I believe by June of this year, we should see some overtures where we can rest assured that some of the benefits coming out from all of these arrangements in the gas, oil, petrochemical, as well as in general the energy industry in Trinidad and Tobago will certainly reflect itself in more employment opportunities, a greater amount of foreign exchange flowing in. People will begin to reinvest domestically and have confidence, of course, in the economy. All of those things are on the cards. Of course, the soothsayers and those who are vying or attempting, of course, to sanitize themselves and make themselves viable for management of Trinidad and Tobago, certainly, I think when that reality would have struck, they would know that it's about time that they be relegated to the dustbin of political history in this country. Yes.
Go ahead, caller.
Go ahead, my friend. Yes.
Yeah. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, morning.
Good morning.
Elaborating on what Mr. Nobody said this morning, right? What happened yesterday? The Secretary of War and the General had a press conference yesterday where they revealed certain things. And shortly after that, Caroline Levitt, the press secretary for the president, had a meeting where the same question was asked about the letter that they quoted in the media. And in her response, she said that she saw the publication and she questioned the president about it. And he said that he got a letter before and he threw it in the bin. However, he told him he's not working with that. And then they sent a next plan with a workable one, which they're negotiating right now. And yesterday, well, I was hoping the president would address the nation who had a press conference because he was meeting with the head of NATO, where he had a couple of hours well, and it seemed to be very heated. From what he indicated in the past, what he had been saying, he's very disappointed with the NATO nations and the way they assisted him. and the way they address him. So today I'm hoping I will be able to get some information on that, because I didn't get anything on that yesterday. Now, the next thing they're talking about super nations. Rome was one of the most powerful nations in the world. They had actually crucified the Son of God. Where are they today? They fall. Egypt was a very powerful nation and all, with so much different slaves from all over the world, even the Jews and all. There with pyramids now is only a tourist attraction, right? And power and might is not the size of a country, but the might of the military, which America had the strongest military in the world right now. The biggest population in the world is India with 1.6 billion. The second largest is China with 1.4 billion. The third is Africa with 1.2 billion. America only have over 300 and around 34 million people, but had the strongest army. In the 16th century, the strongest armies were France, England, and Spain. They conquered nations like China and India and all them Caribbean countries and all about, because they had a small population but a strong army. So the strength of the army is what determines the strength of the nation, right? And America right now had the most powerful army in the world. Terrorist organizations do not have powerful army, but they are willing to kill their own people and sacrifice anybody for their survival. That is what Iran is about. And for people who don't know, in 1979, when the Ayatollah then become in charge of Iran, the Muslims them never used to dress the way they dress now. They say wear normal dress and pants and these things. Even in Trinidad, we never had Muslim dressing the way they dressing. The Muslim, I have half of my family is Muslim. They used to go to mosque with a pants and a shirt, sometimes with a kerchief on the head. The woman used to go with a normal dress and a scarf over the head. Right? When the Shah them take over there and tell them you have to dress a certain way to worship God, that gave rise to the Muslimin in Trinidad, who nearly overthrew Trinidad and Tobago. So you cannot say that what happened in Iran did not affect Trinidad. Learn from all the history and all understand what's going on. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much.
Andy, good morning. Ground Report, good morning. Trinidad and Tobago, good morning. Andy, I just called. I want to find out what it is really going on with, don't know if it's the government. I don't know if it's the people that in charge that they put with concerning this program that they have running under the Ministry of Works. Andy, these people and them is there. I think they're going on to the 10th fortnight and only receive 4 fortnight salary. These people working since December, they get paid for the December when they start, they get paid for January, and that's it. When you're calling complaining, when the callers that calling, that people are telling me when they're calling complaining that they have no money to go out, they're still paying them absent, which they don't mind, but at least pay them on time, because they're waiting a whole month and something for 1 fortnight. So the day since then, they have February, whole of March, and look, we start in April. I don't know, as I say, if the minister, Ms. Jolene John, knows what's going on, or if it's the PNM people that's still in charge that is messing up the UNC project. I don't know. But these people and them is really getting agitated, and all they're not paying the first batch and all they're hiring a next batch. So that means the second batch that is going to start this program is going to run into the same stupidness, because all is still owing 2 months to the first batch. So, but that is what I really say let me get on to your concerning, because every time you call, they're telling you about the could only print one check at a time. They need to update it. People need their money that they already work for.
Morality in public.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Mr. Nobody, I like your contribution, but sometimes you need to chill, okay? Chill. Who do you think you're talking to the Iranian to open up? It's the Chinese. America is talking to the Chinese to talk to the Iranians and let's get a deal and open up the Straits of Hormuz, okay? The Chinese talking to America, America talking to Chinese. But let me tell you something. Donald Trump is going to meet the Chinese President Xi Jinping next, coming soon. I'm not sure what's it. If he's talking with them, we all talking and something like if Mr. Nobody knows everything, okay? Chill, my friend, chill.
Andy, good morning. Good morning to you, Lennox, Mikey, Nigel, and to everybody out here. Andy, this was the same thing that nobody was talking about last week, and what I have been saying all along. Do not wait for Telecommunications Authority to tell all you what it is going on, what is acceptable and what is not. And Nigel, I totally agree with you. It's big people we are dealing with, not little children. And how many times we have to tell them to mute your device. Or, I mean, it's years you're calling the radio station, you know the language, right? You know everything. And the next thing all you have to be very, very careful about, right, is that busman with his racial punctuations, we put it that way, right? Because you see how they listen? You see people just feel, tell was with that, and no, it's for our guidance. It's our guidance to keep it clean. Keep it clean. Yes, you wanted to say that these people talking, it could use nonsense, it could use a lot of other words to get your message across. Lennox, the next thing you must do with meanings of the word, you must use words that you can use to replace it. That will be an interesting one. That will be an interesting one, right? And you know, they keep criticizing you all. They keep talking about you lying to the people. Well, they do Wall Street that every time he's on. He giving them misinformation, giving them this and giving them that and the other, right? But you see, every time Mrs. Pasabi says say and do something, how they criticize her, and then after it comes out that she was right. Even this thing with this Barnett woman, she's right. And now the new propaganda of the PNM is that the PNM ordered those fire trucks. They're not boasting about the ladders, you know, the wooden ladders. No, that is PNM ordered those fire trucks, right? And PNM failed this country for 9.728 years, and everything now that this government is doing to fix this lawless dump, PNM want to take credit for it. I find it, but I'm not hearing them taking credit for the 22 babies that died in NICU and the 4 men that they left to die in a pipe. Take credit for that. Thanks, Andy.
Good morning to the magnificent tree. Boy, I listen to all the day and I just laughing away. Some people, like if they really understand this life now. Let me tell you something now. Some people talking like if when God sent the flood with Noah, that it didn't even pass in Iran neither. Or either how Rowley and them PNM run this country long before the UNC. for 30 years before they get changed with Robinson and them in 1986. That they paying them is the better people to run this country because they older than everybody else who run the country. And like life make up now, because of your age, nothing new can come to the people who now come. Because he ran so long, so they are the best technology. But then I know that the same knowledge will be revealed to the babes and the suckling. And if you go now to a cell phone, when you, the older person, can't even handle a cell phone, your little 12 years child could just do what they want with it and get anything that they want with it. So I don't know. I know technology increase, and not because how old you is, somebody can't do this or they can't do that. But the difference between America and Iran, why is America have to hit the limited? Because they can't destroy the same people they're trying to save. Iran could send drone and missile and hit anything in Israel or in Qatar or anywhere or in Kuwait as they feel, because they're not trying to protect nothing. But America, them have to do it on a limited basis because you can't destroy the same people you're trying to protect. And that is the reason why Iran have a better chance. Right? Thank you, gentlemen.
Nice. So we got to deal with all those voice notes there. We got to deal with all those voice notes. So it seems now Lennox Smith complains of no pay coming from two different directions now, coming from the direction of the Works Ministry, and it also coming in the direction of the that penthouse, so we call it that next
Ministry of Local Government
yeah.
and Rural Development.
So
and there's another that I'm not hearing much of, that's to say late payments for social persons who depend on social services, so the pensioner, etc. Maybe we can get something on that, because I suspect that if we are not hearing about it, means that there's some improvement there. But generally, we will have to find out that this is one too much, frankly, and therefore there must be a reason, a rationale for it. We have not been privy to that information, except, of course, there's the general malaise that there is a cash crunch or a cash flow issue that the government is facing. But we also know that in the next 2 months or so, the review of the economy will certainly be on the agenda, and we'll have a better understanding as to why these bottlenecks, having regard to the fact that you are digitizing and that you are generating a system that ought to be much more expeditious or speedier, and yet still you are getting, of course, month and 2 and 3 fortnights delay. That is something that has to be explained, because it will only exacerbate the frustration and the concerns of people having regard to decisions made to discontinue certain programs that that would have been able to at least plug a hole very conveniently prior to they being, of course, discontinued. So that is a concern that we need to try and address, and that, of course, we can get that, no doubt, from the Minister of Finance and others who are directly responsible for initiating and for paying. Yeah.
Hold on, let me take a call there. So, John Tobago, you all could call. I played, I think I just have about 2 more votes.
Don't forget, of course, the word for today. Stand by with your dictionaries, whether it be a hard copy or electronic.
No, well, let me go for that one. Oh, boy. Ask this caller. Let me go for that one time. Go ahead, caller.
All right. Okay, good. No problem.
Morning, Andy. Morning, brother Lennox. Morning, Trinidad and Tobago and Mighty Sniper. Lennox, don't forget yesterday Malcolm X asked a question. You see what we talking about? Where the brother now call and talk about the payment. You see the problem in this country is the people who supervising, the people who getting paid for the job and not producing. And I asked Lennox yesterday if I was wrong. Look at what happened to a little child in Tobago. And just imagine, it's so embarrassing, you hearing on the news that they're looking for the owner of the jet ski after the child dead. So we ain't going forward. We're not moving forward as a nation because nobody answering for nothing. All you have a good day.
And I agree with you, is an attitudinal change that is required, whether by force or otherwise, because we have enough regulations and so on. Is people simply are delinquent and that they have grown accustomed to being
technically not doing nothing,
unproductive.
Yeah.
That it has become a culture, and we are seeing that this level of dysfunctionality that is a consequence of that malaise has to be rooted out.
Yes,
and
yes.
That's where we are. Yeah.
So Trinidad and Tobago, the word for today. Don't forget the word for today. So we look forward to your calls. What's your word for the day for Lennox Smith?
Yeah, well, of course, if you just joined us, you give a word, you test my vocabulary, of course, and I will ultimately give one. We just have two calls. Two calls we'll normally take, meaning 2 words, and then, of course, we will move on because we have quite a lot of work to do and time is upon us. So let's hear your first word for the day. You have any on our side?
Oh boy. So let me get all the numbers.
Yes, we have someone. We have someone here. Good morning. What's your word?
Yes.
Yes.
Mind, which is the plural of mine.
The plural of?
Mind.
Hello?
She said mind, which is the plural of mind. So what you mean by that? She said mind, which is the plural of mind.
M-I-N-D-S, minds. All right. Yeah, we have another one.
I understand. No. They can't do that, Lennox Smith. Mind, all right, M-I-N-D, you see. And then she said, which is the plural of mind, which is, you say, M-I-N-D-S. Right. I still don't understand. The meaning, what? Mind?
Well, some people seem to be changing up the entire thing.
You know, guys, if someone calls and they don't express or explain themselves properly and they hang up, you guys should not go on about it. Just move to the next person.
All right, let's go. Next call.
Yeah.
And that's what I understood as well, because I was hoping the person would have been on. And
Caller, go ahead,
next caller.
A pleasant good morning, Andy, Mr. Lennox,
good morning,
and Director Snipes. My word of today for you, Mr. Lennox, is adventurous.
Is what?
Adventurous.
Adventus.
R-O-U-S. It's an adjective, yes.
R-O-U-S, right?
Yes.
Which is what? Adventurous?
A person who would take chances. They're going to seek new ventures because they are sort of overt. They are
like Christopher Columbus. Them.
Oh, yes. That's
they're going to adventure and they discover the new world and them kind of bacchanal thing.
Yeah.
Yes. New and unknown. Thank you. Correct.
All right.
Yes.
Oh boy. So come on, Trinidad and Tobago. We have our next one. One more. Give us the word for today. Morning.
Andy Williams, good morning to you, and Lennox Smith, good morning, and Nigel Snipe, good morning. Pathological liar. The definition of a pathological liar.
Yeah. All right. Well, of course, that is something that we would normally use here to ascribe politicians. It means pathology means sick. So he's a sick liar. A person who, of course, is habitually lies and deceive. Yeah. So that's the meaning I would prefer to that.
That's like for instance, Dr. Keith, the former Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Christopher, he was a pathological liar.
Yeah.
Would I be able to say that, or would I be lying?
Yes. That is a perfect example of a pathological liar. Pathology, of course, medicine, sick. Yeah, you sick liar. There are other terms, of course. Mendacious, for example, would be another term to use for a liar. But of course, pathological is so in digging into your skin that it sounds dread, and it is intended, of course, to be dread. So you call them pathological liars. Yeah, they're sick.
I wonder if COP was referring to Dr. Rowley, but I watch out that I don't know who is a pathological liar.
Knowing him that as how we do, I'm sure that he would have had some consideration there as well. Is he still on?
Nah, he gone.
Gone.
Nice. Now your word, Lennox Smith.
Oh, yes. My, I had it there all the time and in the conversation, but anyhow, conspicuous. That means, of course, easy to see. So something that is conspicuous, easy to see. CONSPICUOUS, conspicuous. All right, easily seen. So, Andy, your ability to analyze is extremely conspicuous, and therefore we have to commend you for the growth that you have demonstrated.
And what about so all right, in that part, would we be able to say the same thing that President Donald Trump is conspicuous? Or
well,
no?
Conspicuous, you use it, of course, you go on to say why. Right, so because it's an adjective, really. You can say that
but he had to see.
But I want to use what Tunji said and conspicuous at the same time. Okay. So, for example, we can say that Dr. Rowley is a conspicuous pathological liar.
Okay, well, easy to see liar, boy.
Yeah.
Well,
that is so he reinforces it.
Oh,
yeah, and words are like that. You are able to mend and to put them together in such a way that you, of course, reveal the exact thing that you want to say to another person who is receiving that. But we have to go for a break, and when we come back, more on this edition of the Ground Report. It was a wonderful exercise.
If it matters to you, it matters to us. We report the news, real stories in real time. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Your future is safe with us. No matter your age or where you're from, or what doors are open to each and every one. A variety of services that's accessible and reliable. Here to show you just what service is. Helping where we can, but with a smile.
Police Credit Union, your future is safe with us.
Your news, anytime, anywhere. TTT News brings you the facts that matter most. On air and online. More ways to stay informed. TTT News covers the stories that matter. Join us nightly at 7. TTT News. Committed, accurate, relevant.
Your future is safe with us. No matter your age or where you're from, or what doors are open to each and every one. A variety of services that's accessible and reliable. Here to show you just what service is. Helping where we can, but with a smile.
Police Credit Union, your future is safe with us.
You can listen on Talk City 91.1 FM and stay connected on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, wherever you are.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked!
We are back. Time check, yes, it's a 41 minutes past the hour, 41 minutes past the hour. of 8 o'clock, and we are listening to the Growing Report right here on Talk City 91.1 FM. You're also listening to us and viewing us on our several social media platforms. Talk City 91.1 FM on Facebook, on YouTube, and on TikTok. And not forgetting on Real Media TT, Facebook, YouTube. Not forgetting to Corridor Transformation on YouTube and all these other platforms. Go ahead, caller. Morning to you.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Lennox Smith.
Good morning.
I miss Mikey too. Yeah, I want to say this morning. When if you is a PNM, it's good about that, Nothing wrong if you love a party. Nothing wrong if he's a PNM activist. But why is it mix people and the religion when all you? I just listen every radio station, but I do not call in at all. And when these PNM activists and them on the station, why are they mixing Indian and Hindu with all you? And I want to send a message to the man who has talked on workers' rights. I think his name Anderson what. Granny, telling you this. You said on your station that you will do for the Indian and the Hindus, and you will do for the 1% Indian and Hindus in this country, but not the Syrian, not the Chinese. I would like you to know. An Indian and a Hindu, that don't mean you is a UNC. That don't mean you is a UNC. And an Indian and a Hindu, they, Bible said, the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, from the time you born, you're expecting that. So an Indian and a Hindu do not trade trouble or death. Anything is expected at any time. So don't feel you could frighten anybody, because Granny is frightened by that. That is one. And two is, why is it all your PNM waving UNC flag for supper, and in every station calling elderly, elderly, elderly? Elderly work to build the country. Old age. I am proud I am an elderly, and I am proud I am a granny, because I could get a doctor by my bedhead. So who didn't work to help itself to reach in the elderly woman from Tobago, myself, and Miss Santa Cruz position? I sorry for them. Thank you very much, Andy, and thanks very much for your time.
Thank you very much. You all have any on all side there by the time?
Yes, we have one here. Welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Smith.
Good morning to you.
And good morning to Andy.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
The question that I have this morning, Mr. Smith, are you in favor of the Commissioner of Police authorizing both mom and dad in a house to have a FUL and to hold a firearm? And the other question I have to ask you, if a domestic report is made, a domestic violence report is made in the police station, are you in favor of the police leaving these people with their weapons? And the other question I have to ask you, who did the psych evaluation for these two people to have weapons? I leave those questions to you. I know you're quite erudite and you could answer them.
I appreciate your confidence in my eruditic ability. But that being as it may, I would say that the legal responsibility to determine whether someone, a citizen of this country, owns or holds or have the license for a firearm is rest with the police. So therefore, I will not want to second guess the circumstances that would have caused them to, of course, issue and to say that this person is qualified to or in fact holds a firearm. I can't go further than that. Good morning. We have another call. Yes, indeed. So the lines are open. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Lennox.
Yeah.
That last caller, they just say smart as foolishness.
Well, no,
all stations calling, people are very in that fella. That fella will have belly, you know. You understand? Because, you know, you can keep education, you're stupid. You understand? Sometimes I just know when I was asking every question. If a man could come out in a public, in a public radio station, you understand? And talking this and a filth every time. And
Thank you, caller. I don't understand. Why would you pick up time to attack someone's comment?
Yeah.
Hi, good morning. Welcome.
Make yours. Please lower the volume on your device. It will interfere with the quality.
Hi, good morning. Welcome.
Morning. What Malcolm X says is very important. You know, people that hold position to do certain work and they're not doing their work.
Yeah.
Now, concerning the pensioners problem, some of the pensioners not going to register that they're still alive. That is why the pension will delay sometimes.
Okay.
But another problem in social affairs business, you know?
Yeah.
Some other people not going to register that they're still alive. So the pension will stop until they go and register.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, morning, Lennox.
Good morning.
I shock only take my call.
Why would you be shocked? Go ahead.
And let me start with everybody, right? In a nutshell. To the minister who called their sound, to the husband, the wife, having like stuff I am, I think by know most medical people and who sick and who is sick. Once that all the credentials to which of I am, like Spinola, they should get them 2 guns. 2 for the husband and 2 for the wife. Right? Because when them fellas come in your house, they shoot you and they rape your children and things, this machine gun they walk in with. Your mother gun, the partner one, the driver one. So they should get them 2 each. 2. I don't know what it has come out. Police are talk about the issues. And to what Wayne said, and I must send my condolences to that Mr. out in Canada who is always called his line, and we are then near nobody send our condolences to Norman had died. Me and my next year.
Oh, Norman, I heard that, you know, boy, but I wasn't. Yeah, but I couldn't confirm it. Oh, he has.
Yeah,
he died of
that was very sad, and he's always say, but my TK Andy them don't call my name. Norman David Evensley from day one.
Yes.
So what he says condolences to his wife and his family.
Yeah.
Because Norman is a soldier. And that man from Canada here is a regular caller.
Yes.
But like, we need to do with the issues. And what Wayne said earlier on there, Malcolm X, I told the Honorable Minister, hard-working minister, and Julian John, Miss Julian John, hard-working minister too as well, right? And I can't leave out the Dr. Monilal, hard-working ministers, all majority of the ministers and the working. But you see, there are some people in these ministries. I tested the chairman, I told her that, I tell her that by the phone, I tell her that in her face, I tell her that outside Parliament in her office. I told her if they 10 or they have an intention, I had this government looking bad. But they gain everything this time, everything they gain on time. They can lend down the accounts office, and in their mind, I don't know, and all they don't get to have the PNM, and all they don't get to have it with that former government and the former prime minister and them. They put people in certain places. I don't know if all they want the government to look bad. So I call on the ministers to deal with these people in the mini ministry, them who all they met there. They are good working, citizens there in all their ministries. But that some, I don't know where it's coming from. But it's coming from some people seeing the gong talking. Right, so let me talk about the excuse now.
Right. So we're talking about where basically is the late payments and salaries, and you feel that it's being orchestrated.
Claiming that there's sabotage. Yes.
Miss John very hard working. So the shaman same thing. The power some initiative and some employment towards
but why it's coming across bad? It's coming across bad because it's coming from the make shift work. That's supposed to be replacing the URP and the CPEP and them kind of thing.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much.
All of that. Underneath all of that, really and truly, the government cannot escape the political fallout. So they have the onus, the awesome onus, to rectify that situation, because when a fella cannot put food on his table, even though he would have worked and expect the rewards for his efforts, it doesn't matter. Once you are in the driver's seat and you cannot, and that person cannot put food or mind the children or pay the bills, they are going to hold that person or that entity accountable. So the government has to find ways and means
to rectify
to subvent that.
Yeah. I have to get step fast on that. I don't work on that.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Colin.
Consequences they cannot escape.
Thank you, nice. Thank you. Come, let me just finish off these things here that we have.
Good morning to Andy and Lennox. Andy, I made a contribution about 2 days ago, and it went completely out of context. You completely misrepresented the contribution that I made. Andy, not every time I call a station to make a contribution, be it against the government, mean that.
Oh boy. Come on, not now. Let me just make sure, not now. Go ahead.
That was not purpose, attacking the station or anything like that. Everybody have an opinion. Everybody is free to their opinion, and the contribution may not always be in favor of the government. And yes, you allow people to call, no matter what side they're on. Yes, you allow people to call. I can't deny that. But at the same time, after they make the contribution, they always tend to lean on the side of the government. And that is what I was trying to show. Nothing else. I have full respect for you, full respect for Lennox Smith, and I look forward to your program every day. But the people that are making contribution against the government, I think you should pay attention to that, because not everything in the contribution will be bad. Sometimes you must swing left because nobody is perfect. Sometimes you must swing left. Take the good out of the contribution, and don't condemn. That is all I was trying to bring across. I have love for you. I have love for Lennox Smith, and full respect to your program. I will continue to listen. But you know what, calling and thing, I don't think I will do that, because you see the repercussion that it has caused behind. Oh, and Andy, I was trying to call you yesterday and end up calling the wrong Andy. I called Andy from the Bamboo, and he asked me to say hello to you for him, please. So I just passing on the message. Have a blessed one.
Hi, good morning, Andy, Lennox. My GK, well, don't mind it over here, but the radio program started with 3 or 4 years now, plenty years, and me, my family and friends listen to this program. Now, I'm listening here that Matt have a problem with something, with some voice message that you just be playing. And you mightn't be 100% announcer or what, a radio host or what. You're just a human, and we are your followers. And this ground report is like real life on a morning with a cup of tea. And without ground report, it's come like we do have a good morning. Andy, I want to tell you, try and review your voice message before playing it. Why? There are a lot of PNM that have nothing to do with 200 and something change, 1,000 people, PNM, who don't like this government, don't like this radio program, right? And you remember, you remember when was it Manning or who was rowdy to walk in a radio station? So these PNM people, we got to watch them. We got to watch.
Point well taken. Let's continue.
Morning. I want to talk to a lady called Old Bernie from Tobago. You see that blue cult that all you're following there? the people in that cult, they take a anchor and drop it on your head and damage your brain in the process. Bernie, every time you open your mouth, you just talk a bag of rubbish and stupidness. Nobody want to hear you. You're like a damn dog looking for a bone.
I think one of the words that cannot be used is that. Okay, let's continue.
Good morning again to you, Lennox, Nigel, and to everybody out there. Andy, Dr. Ali of Guyana is saying that proper procedures were followed in the election of Dr. Barnett. But how could proper procedures be followed if Trinidad and Tobago was not invited to vote? Right? And now we have Ralph Gonzalez, who looked like a scarecrow, coming with, he did not attend the meeting, but he here, right? He said, she said, them say, right? And he believed the person who said that Sean Sobers didn't go to the meeting because he couldn't travel by boat because he just gets seasick. You see how we're going deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole with this thing? They tried all how to make Trinidad and Tobago look bad for not supporting this lady, but they would not do the right thing and say that she neglected to reply to Mrs. Prasad concerning the kidnapping of Brent Thomas. Thank you.
Andy, good morning. To that Muslim fellow we call you and say your family is Muslim. All right, them problem is they're too happy. All right, them like monkey see, monkey do. Anything them see in another country, they want to march and protest for it. All right, don't worry with them. Andy, them PNM people was expecting a wooden fire truck just like the wooden ladder, and a wooden fire truck just like the wooden ladder, and it wouldn't move. That's like for from America to give you a monologue. The whole history, but Lennox, you know history, so like I put it, man. You know history, and you know the population of the world. You got to wake up, give you a monologue. Later.
Right, thank you so much, Trinidad and Tobago. The DAM, I think, is our next word that really can't use it. It never was thing here. But I think those who don't use the DAM now.
Well, I would caution and admonish all callers, out of an abundance of caution, cease and desist, right? Because they are much more palatable, and I know that we are attempting, of course, to broaden people's vocabulary on the very program that you love and, of course, claim to be your bread and butter, and therefore you don't want to lose it, and we don't want to lose it on frivolity or things that are unnecessary. So avoid using it all entirely.
Nice.
And
so
in that way, you are in a good place.
Nice. So Trinidad and Tobago, come up next, we'll only see him on the screen there, we'll only see him again. It's Stefan and Mr. X with Off the Record. Very big program right after the ground report. I just gave my kicks, boy. Oh, God. Them fellas, they saw me going. So don't switch your dial at all, right? Stay locked on. You all could have choose any other radio station to lock on to. You all choose Talk City 91.1 FM. Thanks so much. On behalf, I'm Andy Williams, better known as the Pitbull of Radio. On behalf of the Ground Report team, until tomorrow morning, please, God, be safe on the nation's road, okay? After God, family comes first. Always remember that. We are out of here.
Bang, bang, bang. Talk City 91.1. Thought-provoking conversations, bold perspectives, voices you trust. Talk City 91.1. Bigger, bolder, and more powerful than ever before.
Yes, Talk City 91.1 FM.
A brand new era of talk radio is here with voices you know, trust, and respect. Get ready for an all-new lineup of the very best in talk. Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, Stephen Reese, Mr. X, Derek Charbodi, Roland Stewart, Sharon Farfan, Sudath Prasad, Heavy Duty, Alex Asing, Karen Francisco, Jerry Lean Lewis, Short Pants, and more of the voices shaping the national conversation. From hard-hitting current affairs to real community issues, culture, politics, social development, and the stories that matter most to you. This is where Trinidad and Tobago comes to talk.
So I'll get right here on Talk City 91.1, where we're going to give you something new, something hot every day, Monday to Friday.
Listen on 91.1 FM and connect on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Talk City 91.1. Your city, your voice.